In a bid to promote social distancing, this new concept that we are all coming to terms with, some companies are allowing people to work from home. But in order to do this, they need to be connected to the office. Fibre is a relatively new addition to South African homes. So can the fledgling infrastructure handle the additional demand? For more on this, then I'm joined by Vumatel Chief Commercial Officer, that's Simon Butler, who joins me now via Skype. Simon, you and I can do this via Skype, and I'm trusting that the connection will be, steady enough and of a good quality. But what can you tell me about the broader picture? Last I checked the numbers, we were talking about 500,000 thereabouts homes in South Africa connected to the fibre network. What's the situation now?
That's correct, yes. Look, we're in an interesting space at the moment, and I think, obviously we would want more fibre out there as possible to have the majority of South Africa connected. Where we are at this point in time, there's a little over 1.7 million homes that are passed, so those are homes that have access to connect up to the network, and about 600,000 homes that are currently connected. And
in terms of the take-up, is it increasing or what's the rate at which it's being taken up? I see that you're talking about the access and portals being far more than what has been taken up.
Yes, we look quite interesting. Over the last couple of years, we have seen sort of steady take-up on the network. But very interestingly, over the last week, obviously with the heightened social distancing and remote working, we have seen a sort of an increased demand on our installation teams.
What would accelerate the take-up, Simon, and access in terms of what needs to change policy-wise? I mean, from time to time we talk about, what government needs to do in terms of interventions to facilitate access to the internet for more South Africans. So what are some of the changes that would need to happen in the medium to long term?
Look, often a big challenge of ours is the simple process of wayleave applications and the speed to deploy in certain areas. By and large, local governments have been fairly good in these processes, and these sort of processes have sped up over the years, and it's really just the speed at which the different fibre network infrastructures can deploy. We are currently ramping up our build initiatives to connect a lot more sort of underserviced areas such as Vosloorus, Mitchell's Plain, Grassy Park, Soweto. So we're going on a massive bid this year to try and accelerate that deployment.
All right, let me ask you then, with many companies encouraging people to work from home, and also you have schools closed, so there'll be a lot of viewing of cartoons through the many devices, etc. One of the worst things that could happen is for some of our networks to not hold up, whether we're talking electricity infrastructure and supply, or in this instance, internet connectivity. How are we looking on that front? Are we likely to hold up even in spite of increased demand?
Look, obviously I can't talk to other networks in terms of the mobile operators, but the nature of fibre broadband is it's perfectly geared for that. Our network supports speeds up to 1 gigabit per second, which will see us well into the next couple of years in terms of the increasing demand in bandwidth. So even at sort of everybody going home and working from home, video conferencing, and increase in streaming and increase in e-learning, fibre networks that are currently sort of reaching the home environment are more than geared to provide for this increase.
And I don't know if you interact with some of your corporate clients, Simon, on this question of what's the main reason for them wanting the fibre connectivity. Has this whole culture of video conferencing, is that something that's been on the increase and growing, or will this be the moment at which it fast tracks?
I think we've certainly seen a growing trend. Obviously with the fibre broadband, it allows higher resolution video conferencing, and to be able to interact with people and understand their expressions is obviously critical in face-to-face meetings. So we have seen an uptick. I think the current unique scenario that we're facing together as a country and a world right now is possibly going to change how this goes into the future. I think we're going to see a lot more people resorting to just simply interacting via video conferencing as opposed to traveling abroad, traveling local, even meeting within the same company.
Yeah, Simon, thank you so much. Simon Butler from Vumatel there in conversation with me via Skype. Ordinarily, I would have asked for him to come through to the studio, but we are all taking precautions and we are limiting the amount of people in face-to-face interactions, even in this news space.